The greatest journey any human being can ever take is the journey of self-improvement. When we choose to take responsibility for our personal growth, we lay the foundation for every other area of life to flourish. Focusing on becoming a better version of yourself begins not with what's outside you, but with what's within. From childhood, many of us are conditioned to search outward for answers, to seek approval, recognition, or direction from the world around us. We measure our value through the opinions of others or the standards society imposes. Yet, as Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. True growth doesn't begin by looking outward, but by turning your gaze inward. It's only through honest self-examination, your thoughts, beliefs, and habits, that meaningful transformation begins. The truth is, everything you see in your external world is a reflection of what's happening inside of you. Your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe about yourself, your worth, your capabilities, and your potential directly influences your actions, your choices, and the opportunities that appear before you. If you see yourself as limited or undeserving, you'll constantly struggle to rise above mediocrity. But if you believe in your ability to grow, to learn, and to rise, you'll begin taking decisions that elevate your life. As Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. To begin improving yourself, you must first understand the quality of your thinking. Ask yourself, what thoughts occupy my mind most often? Are they empowering or limiting? Many people unknowingly live under the weight of false beliefs that success belongs to a lucky few, or that their dreams are too far out of reach. These ideas become invisible chains, keeping them stuck year after year in the same place. To grow, you must confront those limiting beliefs head on. It's not an easy process. It demands honesty, reflection, and courage. It asks that you be still long enough to listen to that quiet inner voice that knows your truth. You must be willing to face uncomfortable realities, because growth never happens inside comfort zones. The more willing you are to explore your inner world, the more capable you become of transforming your outer one. One of the most powerful tools for growth is self-awareness. When you begin to notice your inner dialogue, you gain the power to shift it. For example, when you hear yourself thinking, "I can't do this," stop and reframe it. "I may not know how yet, but I can learn." That small mental shift may seem insignificant, but over time it reshapes your identity. You begin acting from confidence instead of fear, from belief instead of doubt. Beyond thoughts, true self-improvement also demands that you examine your habits, those small repeated actions that ultimately shape the quality of your life. Your habits either move you closer to your goals or quietly pull you away from them. Success and failure are rarely built on one big decision, but on the accumulation of daily choices. If you want to live healthier, wealthier, or more fulfilled, it begins with transforming what you do each day. Self-improvement requires personal responsibility. No one else is accountable for your habits, your effort, or your growth. Blaming circumstances, people, or the past keeps you in a state of helplessness. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you take full ownership of your life, you reclaim your power. You begin to understand that although you can't control everything, you can always control your response. Another key part of inner growth is defining your values. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What do I stand for? When you're clear about your values, you make decisions that align with them, and that alignment brings peace, clarity, and fulfillment. Too many people live out of sync with their true priorities simply because they've never taken time to define them. The result? Achievement without satisfaction. Success without joy. By living according to what genuinely matters to you, you direct your energy toward what nourishes your spirit, not just your image. Self-improvement also calls for forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Every one of us has made mistakes, but carrying guilt, resentment, or regret only keeps us bound to the past. When you forgive, you free your heart and mind to move forward unburdened. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Inner reflection should never be a one-time event. It must become a lifelong discipline. Just as a garden needs regular care, your inner world needs consistent attention. Set aside moments of silence to reflect on your thoughts, evaluate your choices, and realign your path. Journaling, meditation, and quiet contemplation are powerful ways to nurture this practice. When you focus on improving yourself from the inside out, you'll notice visible change in your outer world. Relationships deepen. Opportunities emerge. Peace grows. You begin to move through life with purpose and confidence. By committing to this inward journey, you're declaring, I am worth the effort. My growth is my greatest priority. As you maintain this mindset, the limitations that once seemed unbreakable begin to dissolve. Self-improvement is not a destination. It's a lifelong evolution. The more you transform within, the more the world around you shifts to match your new level of consciousness. And at the heart of it all lies personal discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement, the difference between dreaming and doing. It's the steady, daily application of effort, focus, and consistency that turns vision into reality. Most people dream of greatness, but few are willing to build the habits that sustain it. As Aristotle wrote, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Without discipline, even the best intentions fade away. Discipline turns plans into progress and dreams into results. It's easy to stay motivated when the path feels clear and the mood is right. But the real measure of discipline shows up on the days when you don't feel like doing anything, when fatigue, doubt, or distraction whisper in your ear. That's when discipline becomes your compass, the quiet, consistent force that says, keep going. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency compounds into transformation. You don't become fit by training for 1 week, you become fit by showing up every day. You don't become wise from one book, you grow by reading and reflecting regularly. Discipline also means setting clear priorities. In a world full of noise, social media, entertainment, endless distractions, it's easy to lose focus. Discipline empowers you to say no to the temporary, so you can say yes to what truly matters. Time is your most valuable currency. Use it with intention. Plan your days. Remove time-wasting habits. As Benjamin Franklin said, you may delay, but time will not. Another essential aspect of discipline is delayed gratification, the ability to choose long-term reward over short-term pleasure. In an age of instant results, patience is a superpower. Discipline teaches you to sacrifice comfort now for fulfillment, later to study when you'd rather scroll, to save when you'd rather spend, to build when no one's watching. Through that process, you develop resilience, the strength to keep going when others stop. Setbacks don't define you, your response does. Every failure can become a stepping stone if you stay committed. Discipline, like a muscle, grows with practice. Start small, wake up on time. Complete what you begin, honor your word. Over time, these small victories build unshakable strength. Ultimately, discipline is self-respect. It's how you tell your future that it matters. It's how you prove to yourself that your dreams are worth the sacrifice. The rewards of a disciplined life, peace, confidence, mastery are far greater than the comfort of staying where you are. As Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. When you cultivate self-discipline, you unlock the power to transform your life. The question is not whether you have the potential, it's whether you're willing to work for it. Day after day, no matter what. Because when you master yourself, you master your world. A key to setting realistic goals is making them time-bound. Open-ended goals often lead to procrastination because there's no sense of urgency to take action. When there's no clear finish line, the mind drifts, motivation fades, and effort weakens. But when you attach a specific time frame, you create accountability, a reason to move. However, those deadlines must also be realistic. Setting impossible timelines does not make you ambitious, it makes you anxious. Unrealistic expectations only create frustration and self-doubt when you inevitably fall short. Instead, give yourself time to grow, allowing for steady progress. For instance, if you're learning a new skill, expecting mastery in 30 days might be unrealistic, but aiming to make measurable progress within 3 to 6 months, that's achievable. As Bruce Lee once said, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. One of the most powerful ways to stay aligned with your goals is by tracking your progress. Many people give up simply because they can't see how far they've already come. But progress, no matter how small, builds confidence. When you document your journey, whether it's your fitness progress, financial growth, or personal development, you create evidence of your effort. These small victories are your proof of growth. They remind you that every step, however small, matters. Even when the ultimate goal still feels distant, looking back at what you've already achieved reignites motivation. It also allows you to adjust your strategy when needed. If you're not moving as fast as you'd like, you can reassess, refine, and realign rather than give up altogether. Another pillar of success is accountability. It's easy to make promises to yourself and just as easy to break them. But when you bring others into your journey, a mentor, a coach, or a trusted friend, you add an extra layer of responsibility. You create a system of support, encouragement, and honest feedback. Accountability transforms intentions into commitments. Knowing that someone else believes in your potential pushes you to follow through even when motivation fades. As Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Accountability keeps the plan alive. Equally vital is managing your expectations. Growth takes time. In a world obsessed with speed, we've been conditioned to believe that if results aren't instant, something's wrong. But lasting change is never instant. True progress is slow, deliberate, and deeply personal. By setting realistic goals, you protect yourself from disappointment. You learn to appreciate gradual progress instead of demanding perfection overnight. Each step forward, no matter how small, becomes a building block towards something greater. And here's the secret: celebrate your progress. Every milestone deserves recognition, even the tiny ones. Each step you take toward your goal is proof that you're still in the fight. When you celebrate progress, you reinforce positive behavior, and what you reward, you repeat. On the other hand, when you fail to recognize your progress, you may start believing you haven't achieved anything even when you're evolving daily. As Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Appreciating the small wins keeps your energy focused where it matters most, on forward motion. Setting realistic goals also strengthens resilience. Every goal pursued will come with setbacks, obstacles, and lessons. But when your goals are realistic, each small victory builds momentum and confidence. Over time, this resilience becomes your greatest strength, the inner force that helps you rise again after every fall. Self-improvement isn't about chasing perfection, it's about progress, consistent, meaningful steps toward a better you. Every achievable goal becomes a stepping stone toward your greater vision. One of the most overlooked yet essential principles in the journey of growth is patience. Growth, whether mental, emotional, professional, or spiritual, takes time. It's not a sprint, it's a lifelong evolution. In a world addicted to overnight success, patience becomes a rare superpower. Real transformation happens beneath the surface long before it becomes visible to others. A seed must stay buried in darkness before it blooms. The same is true for you. You may not see results right away, but the work you're doing today is shaping the person you're becoming tomorrow. Patience means trusting the process even when the path feels slow. It's the art of continuing when your emotions say stop. As the philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau said, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Another vital part of patience is forgiving yourself when you fall short. No one walks a perfectly straight path to growth. You'll make mistakes, lose focus, and stumble That's part of the process. The key is to learn, not to linger. Too many people become their own harshest critics, punishing themselves for imperfection. But growth doesn't thrive under guilt. It thrives under guilt. It feels when you practice self-compassion, you give yourself permission to try again. You begin to see mistakes not as failures, but as feedback, the world's way of refining you. Patience also means managing your expectations wisely. Many people start with high energy and big dreams only to burn out when progress doesn't happen fast enough. But nothing worthwhile grows overnight. Whether it's building strength, learning a language, or mastering emotional control, it all takes time. When you accept that progress is gradual, you protect your spirit from unnecessary frustration. You stop obsessing over how far you have to go and start appreciating how far you've already come. Another gift of patience is presence, the ability to fully engage in the moment. When you're obsessed with the destination, you forget to enjoy the journey. But when you slow down and appreciate where you are, you find peace in the process. Each step becomes meaningful. Patience also builds resilience, the unshakable calm that helps you endure difficulties with courage. Life will test your resolve. There will be obstacles, detours, and disappointments. But patience keeps you grounded. It tells you this too shall pass. It's what keeps you walking when the road feels endless. Because deep down, you know the journey itself is what shapes your character. And perhaps one of the greatest lessons of patience is learning not to compare yourself to others. In a world filled with highlight reels, it's easy to look around and feel like you're behind. But comparison steals joy and blinds you to your own progress. Everyone's timeline is different. As Theodore Roosevelt wisely said, comparison is the thief of joy. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Stay committed to your own growth, your own timing, and your own story. Patience gives you confidence because it reminds you that success is not a race, it's a rhythm. When you allow yourself the time to grow, you develop real skill, real wisdom, and real depth. Every delay is preparing you for something bigger. Every challenge is strengthening your capacity. And every moment of waiting is working for you, not against you. When you practice patience, you open yourself to self-discovery. You begin to understand that growth isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming. It's about discovering your potential, deepening your awareness, and learning what truly fulfills you. As Leonardo da Vinci says, as filtration serves as a protection against wrongs as clothes do against cold. With time, consistency, and grace, your growth becomes inevitable. Finally, remember this. Patience is not weakness, it's wisdom in motion. It's the ability to hold the vision and trust the process. It gives you the grace to grow, the strength to persevere, and the calm to enjoy the journey. When you combine patience with purpose, discipline, and faith in yourself, you become unstoppable. And as you walk this path of self-improvement, never underestimate the power of community. Human beings thrive in connection. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, uplift you, and remind you of your worth. A strong community gives you belonging. It keeps you encouraged when the journey feels heavy. It reminds you that you are not alone, that others too are striving, learning, and growing alongside you. When you connect with people who share your values, your energy expands. You find inspiration in their progress and motivation in their progress, and find their success becomes proof that growth is possible. As Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Supportive people help you stay accountable, resilient, and focused. They are the mirrors that reflect your potential when you can't see it for yourself. And just as you receive support, be the one who gives it. Encourage others, share your wisdom, and stand beside those who are still finding their strength. In lifting others, you lift yourself. Because in the end, self-improvement is not just about personal success, it's about collective elevation. A true community built on growth and encouragement becomes the heartbeat of lasting success. When people exchange genuine support, It forms a powerful cycle. Each person's encouragement fuels another's drive, and in return, strengthens their own commitment to keep improving. Through this shared energy, the whole group thrives. Every individual who lifts another also rises, creating an atmosphere where growth is not just possible but expected. Having a circle that supports you can make all the difference, especially when the road to self-improvement feels long and demanding. When you're deep in the process of developing yourself, it's easy to lose sight of the big picture. You might get caught up in daily frustrations, setbacks, or moments of doubt. But that's where your community steps in. They remind you of your progress, help you see things from a fresh perspective, and keep you grounded in the reality that growth takes time. They reassure you that challenges are temporary and that patience, paired with persistence, always bears fruit. This external perspective is invaluable. It shields you from falling into negative self-talk and the discouragement that comes when results don't appear overnight. Surrounding yourself with positive, purpose-driven people transforms your mindset. When negativity or criticism dominates your environment, staying optimistic becomes an uphill battle. But when you're among those who believe in your potential, celebrate your wins, and speak faith into your future, maintaining a growth mindset becomes natural. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Positive reinforcement from others strengthens your inner belief in yourself. It builds confidence and a sense of self-worth, two pillars essential for transformation. Over time, the energy of your community becomes a driving force that empowers you to approach every challenge with courage and optimism. Building a supportive circle, however, doesn't happen by chance. It requires wisdom and intentionality. Be discerning about who you allow into your inner space. Seek out those who truly desire your progress, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from negativity, jealousy, or small-mindedness. True growth often requires pruning. It's not about how many people you have around you, but about having the right ones, the ones who inspire, challenge, and uplift you to become the best version of yourself. Never underestimate the power of a supportive community. When you are surrounded by those who believe in your dreams, hold you accountable, offer guidance, and stand by you through storms, you create a foundation where success naturally blossoms. A strong circle fuels your focus, keeps your motivation alive, and strengthens your resilience. Remember, you don't have to walk the path alone. Find your tribe, grow together, and watch how far you all rise. Now, when it comes to personal growth, one critical element that often goes unnoticed is the importance of setting clear and achievable goals. Goals are the roadmap of your journey. They give structure to your dreams, direction to your energy, and clarity to your intentions. Without them, it's easy to drift, busy yet unproductive, active yet unfocused. Setting goals helps you translate your vision into tangible steps. The process begins with clarity, knowing exactly what you want. Vague intentions produce vague results. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, define your goal as, I'll exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. The clearer the goal, the stronger your aim. As the great philosopher Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Once your goals are defined, ensure they are realistic. Ambition is good, but setting goals that are too big too soon can lead to discouragement. Growth is a process, not a race. If you've never run before, don't aim to complete a marathon next month. Start with shorter distances and progress gradually. Each milestone fuels your momentum and confidence. Equally important, your goals must be measurable. Measurement gives you proof of progress. If your goal is to enhance your communication skills, a measurable step could be giving a presentation each month or getting constructive feedback from your peers. When you track progress, you stay motivated, and even small wins become evidence of growth. Setting a timeline gives your goals structure. Without deadlines, time slips away unnoticed. A defined time frame adds urgency and focus. For example, if you're learning a new skill, commit to mastering a specific level by a certain date. Breaking your goal into smaller, time-bound steps makes the process less overwhelming and more achievable. But remember, life changes, and so should your goals. Regularly reviewing and adjusting them ensures they stay relevant and aligned with your evolving circumstances. Flexibility is not weakness, it's wisdom. When obstacles arise, adapt your approach without abandoning your vision. If an injury delays your fitness progress, shift your focus to recovery or alternative exercises. Adjusting doesn't mean quitting, it means staying committed with intelligence. Another cornerstone of meaningful goal setting is alignment with your values. When your goals resonate with your core beliefs, they carry deeper satisfaction. Align your goals with what truly matters to you. If compassion is one of your core values, set goals that allow you to serve others. When purpose and action align, motivation becomes effortless. As Steve Jobs once said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Accountability is equally powerful. When you share your goals with trusted people, you create a network of support and discipline. Discuss your progress with mentors, friends, or family who genuinely want to see you win. Surround yourself with others who are also striving. It will fuel your persistence and help you stay consistent. Finally, remember, the goal is not just the destination, it's the transformation that happens along the way. Every step, every struggle, every breakthrough shapes who you are becoming. Celebrate progress, not just perfection. Growth happens in the journey, not just in the achievement. As Albert Einstein once remarked, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. So keep moving, keep growing, keep improving. In conclusion, personal growth is a lifelong pursuit, a continuous journey of learning, reflection, and transformation. By setting clear, realistic, and measurable goals, aligning them with your values, surrounding yourself with the right community, and establish a strong foundation for lasting success. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every victory a stepping stone, and every setback a lesson in resilience. Embrace the process. Celebrate your progress. And above all, stay committed to becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you focus on improving yourself, everything around you begins to improve as well.